This is Susan Wilbanks with blendedinsight.com. I am a holistic and integrative healing arts practitioner, an intuitive, and an energy healer. In this podcast, I share tips, tools, and suggestions that have helped me along my path in hopes of inspiring and helping you along yours. Let's get started with today's podcast topic.
Hello, bright soul. Thank you so much for joining me on another podcast. I'm so grateful you're here. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. You all are so sweet. You're so smart. And I just adore you. So I want to go into the topic for today because we are in a time where it starts to get stirred up. And you would think over the years, I don't know, people would start to catch on like, oh, ding, ding, ding. Every time there's an election year in the United States, the collective puppet strings start getting pulled and people start turning on each other, getting ugly, vicious, keyboard warriors. Everyone's on a golden podium. The energy starts getting a little batty, wonky. And even though you might not be in the United States, you're still affected because we all live on planet Earth. So whatever is going on in one country is affecting the entire planet. And those of us who are sensitive, we start to feel that. We feel that stirring and we watch it play out. And I've been watching it from a distance and really shocked because you think, I don't know, I guess because we're on this path and we're always trying to have accurate perception and look at things objectively and step back and we're doing our own practice. So we're disconnected from it. So I can't really help it if I'm part of the problem. So I'm continually trying to pull myself out and say, wait a minute, is this serving me? Does this promote peace? Does this help me in any way? Am I making the situation better? You know, all of those things that we do as critical thinkers and people who are here to spread the light. And I guess sometimes we have or I do, I'm not going to speak for you, for me, I guess I want to think that people learn and they grow. And then I realize that they're not. And I think, whoa. Whoa. So in any case, I wanted to share with you how important it is, especially at this time, because when it starts to get chaotic, a lot of times it's a little bit too much. So we tend to withdraw. We want to cut off. We want to get away. And there's importance in that when it's time to rest. But the other piece is we're here to spread the light and we're here to make the world better. So we need to participate to a certain extent, but participate in the right way. So I wanted to share with you things that I've been doing that work for me, that have worked for me over the years, that work for my clients, things that we can do to empower you so that you feel like you're a part of the solution, you're a part of the light, and you aren't participating in the ugliness and all the things that are going on right now. So the very first thing I wanted to say is if you simply don't energize the ugliness, you're already helping. And years ago, I was in San Antonio, living in San Antonio at the time, and I was in a very toxic work environment, thankfully, because I was doing my work and showing up in integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing when no one is watching and being kind and all the things that we do. I didn't have to stay there very long. So there was something in it, probably for them, maybe not necessarily for me. Well, for me too, because it really had me digging into my spiritual practice to keep myself in the most positive state, to move myself out of it. So there's always a reason. There's a reason for other people. There's a reason for us. Everything always works in divine timing and in accordance with the divine plan. So at that time, I had so much stress and pull in my life. And I can look at my life, even up until now, I've just had the type of life where there's just a lot of pull, and sometimes more than others. But what I don't do is default to things that make that worse. So for me, I will dig into my meditation, breath work, exercise, health and fitness, all those things. So I would get up, and my daughter was very young. She was in school at the time. And so I would have to take her and drop her off at daycare. She'd be the first one to get to daycare and she'd be the last one to leave because my hours were so long. And so I had all the mother guilt and things that we go through when we're single parents or parents in general, and just doing what we can just to live and exist and be in this material plane. And so on top of that, I was going into a very toxic work environment, and I'd be and it's hot in San Antonio. If you all know Texas, it's boiling hot in San Antonio. So I would be going to work in the morning and I'd be in traffic and people would be listening to heavy metal or NPR, isn't that what it's called? NPR news. It'd be blasting, even though you're in a car with your windows rolled up. You can hear their music blasting and People are angry and road raging and all the things. And you know what I would be doing? I'd be listening to this. Well, I don't know what you call it now. It was a CD back then. I know I'm showing my age. This is like over 15 years ago. I don't know what you call them now. Albums, downloads. I don't know. But it was a CD from Louise Hay, and she had partnered with a composer named Mark Chait or something. And the CD was called Atmospheres and Affirmations. And I would be listening to it. I'd listen to the whole thing because I'd be in traffic forever. And there was this song. This song is called Inside Out. And Louise Hay would be on there going, "Peace begins with me," over and over. "Peace begins with me. Let's create a world where it's safe to love one another." And I would think, okay, it's not me. It's these people that I work with that are awful. I mean, they were so mean. Most of them got fired and people were filing complaints left and right. But then I realized over the years, because that phrase would stick with me, that song would stick with me because I'd be thinking like, peace begins with me. Well, I mean, I feel peaceful, so I don't quite get it. But I've learned that if you are a peaceful person, just think about this, and this is elementary, and you're probably like, yeah, Susan, we get it. But it's important to kind of break this down and dissect it at this time. If you are not adding to the angry, rageful, ugly energy, you are actually, just by not adding to it, neutralizing it in a way. You are actually making the world a better place by not repeating that behavior. Even if you're not in a higher vibration and uplifting the world with your thoughts, actions, beliefs, behaviors, you're at least not sinking it further with your thoughts, beliefs, actions, and behaviors. And so just by not participating, I've watched so many we call them keyboard warriors, right? Keyboard warriors on social media, just, I mean, spitting the most hateful, just mean, awful, low energy words and just vile at people over things that don't even affect them on a day-to-day basis, over like political things or stuff that happened that is designed to get you in your emotions, and hook, line, and sinker, they just run with it, and they're turning on each other. And I could, if I wanted to add to that ugly energy, because in that situation, the big fish or the negative energy, that's the big fish. Big fish eat small fish. There's so much of it going on that joining that, there'd have to be a really huge energy to neutralize it. And is it worth my energy? Because I know that they're swimming in this, and I'm not going to be able to make a difference by jumping on there and saying something that would be contrary to how they feel, because they're just looking for occasions to be offended. And most people, and I've been this person at some time in my life, so I'm not judging it, because we've all had to start somewhere. And if it wasn't this lifetime, it was probably another lifetime, because that's how we evolve. So what I do, I'm not going to engage it. I won't energize it. I don't want to have a conversation about it. I'm not going to jump on the thread. I'm not going, even in person, I'm not going to do it. So I just don't join it. And by not joining it, I'm already living out the words of the late Louise Hay, "Peace begins with me." So then the other thing is when you are doing your spiritual practice and you're raising your vibration, we project a beam of energy or a vibration that we're emitting that goes out into the ethers and collectively puts an energy on the planet. So that's why we say, okay, so if one person is meditating, it's great. But if you can do it in a group of 10 or more, even in the Bible, it talks about this, it's even stronger, because all of you, it's like the Care Bear stare. Remember the Care Bears? Again, I'm showing my age. But as you are sending out that light beam, you are adding energy to that vibration that raises the consciousness of the planet. And so I know it can feel like you don't have a say, or it's not making a difference, or the dark is getting so dark that it's overwhelming the light. That's not true. The light always wins. We all came from light. The light always wins. So what you can do is don't engage or add to the ugly energy. Stop yourself. Ask yourself, is this really going to make a difference? Is it serving me? How do I feel? Is it raising my vibration? Is it raising the vibration of this room? Is it raising the vibration of this form or whatever it is, in person, otherwise? And then how can I put myself in the best possible state so that I can add to the vibration of peace and love and acceptance and unity and all of the things that we came here to do? And so that is really all I wanted to offer today. We can go into a healing. You can uncross your arms and legs. I will turn the healing on. Okay, and so it is. You can come back into your body. And if you need help getting into that nice, high vibration, relaxed state, you can hop over on Patreon. We've done meditations, healings. I post new content every single week over there. It's our High Vibe Lightworker Tribe. And I do believe you can do a 7-day trial to see if you feel like it's a good fit for you. And if you're interested in breath work, the show notes below contain the Pause Breath Work link. And as always, I cannot thank you enough for being here. And I appreciate you so much. And I wish you a beautiful week. Take care. Bye-bye.